I think the mood on the street was very cautious, as I think it should have been. Is there a difference between consumers? Is there a difference between commercial tech? Is there a difference between durables versus services? It's kind of a very odd thing. So everybody was waiting to see what Microsoft would do with bated breath, and I think they cranked out a very solid fiscal year 23 Q3. I mean, they didn't blow away, but they exceeded revenue and EPS, and the market responded very well. Everybody wanted to know, hey, what was going to happen with cloud and Azure? And cloud had some very big, respectable numbers at about 25%. And Dan, isn't it wild how these cloud numbers are kind of congealing around, in the 20s? Azure was down versus prior quarters, but again, not a huge deal. One of the things that I noticed in overall theme, particularly when I looked at the call, was overall growth was down, right? I mean, overall, you're looking at 7%. Being down in Windows on the consumer side didn't help. But what they did do on the call is they did talk 10 times. I counted them myself, talking about where Azure took share, analytics took share, biz apps took share, collaboration teams took share, security took share across all major categories, hiring business, i.e. LinkedIn, took share, daily installs of the Bing mobile app, share gains. Edge took share, 8th consecutive quarter, the browser. Bing gained share in the United States, share gains in Azure, Dynamics, Teams, Security, Edge, Bing. And that was discussed not only by Satya, but also by Amy Hood. So, company is very well diversified between consumer and commercial. They're definitely tilted toward the commercial side. What everybody really cares about is, in the end, was cloud, and a lot of questions about AI and how that was rolling. Not a lot of details on that in terms of numbers, but really making the case for future goodness with AI.
Yeah, it's interesting. If Satya takes a page out of the Jensen Huang playbook at NVIDIA, just says AI like 100 times on every earnings call, the stock should start seeing one bit per mention. You get a percent gain for every 100 times you say it. But this was a quarter that was really all about the company's investment in OpenAI. So you kind of hit on a lot of the numbers. Look, I mean, the fall off from Surface was to be expected. They were right in the thick of everyone else, around 30% down, and had they done any better than that, it would have been a complete surprise. Look at Apple, almost 50% down. So, that was the hardest part. The deceleration of the cloud growth is interesting, but again, this is a compounding number thing as well. Yeah. Law of large numbers is you can actually be growing more revenue, but at a smaller percent. That's what happens when you get bigger. And, for a lot of companies, it's like at some point, and we'll talk about this more when we get to AWS. It's like, yeah, you're growing slower, but you're still growing by billions of dollars in revenue annually. So Azure's there, and Azure obviously, seems to be growing right alongside, what we saw with the numbers for Google. It just seems that some of the deceleration is more about that large number thing, and some of it is about the fact that we have a little bit of cautiousness among CFOs, among operators, are kind of hanging on longer to some of their infrastructure, moving workloads more cautiously. But I think for Microsoft, if I can really summate it, this was a quarter about OpenAI. This was a quarter about going all in, making a $10 billion investment, and layering their capabilities into every part of the Microsoft portfolio. And so when you saw the bullishness that came out of a good quarter here, I think the bullishness is that people see that they've made the right investments into the right areas, and making those investments into the right areas is going to pay off, because the company is going to win share. They're going to win a piece of search share. Although I do think Google is going to have a good response, and we'll keep talking about that one. They're going to win additional value from their portfolio as companies look to streamline investments in human capital and use technology more efficiently. That's going to be, very evident in the productivity suite. And then you're going to have Teams will continue to grow. Although there was an interesting debundling this quarter, and then that's going to be that was announced and that's going to happen. And then I think the final piece of it is going to be Dynamics. I mean, their CRM product is growing really impressively. I think they had mid double digits, 27% growth of the CRM in the cloud. And so they had a lot of good results across the board. We won't touch on the CMA here because the CMA, the authority in the UK, did block the Activision deal, but we're going to come back and talk about regulation here later in the show. So that's it. That's my take.